So as a student, there's a ton of ways that you can get feedback. One of the most helpful for me is just joining any writing club at your school, truly. Especially if it's a creative writing club, they're always doing workshops. And if you don't know what a workshop is, they're very helpful. You just sit down and you write and you sit quietly and you get feedback on your work. So that's really helpful. Be friends with avid writers and readers. It's really nice to sit down and be like, hey, I have questions from a writing perspective with this friend group, and then you can sit down with the other friend group and be like, hey, I have questions from a reader's perspective, and they can really point out stuff to you that you may not see while you're writing it, because your story's it's your baby, you think it's perfect, and then when you ask that third party, they can really point stuff out to you that can be very beneficial. So I look for anything that could be considered fat. I love cutting away the fat, and when I first started dipping my toes into the publishing world and the book world, I got connected with a professional editor, and she really helped show me the ropes and just look for things through an editor's eye, and that's the other really important thing is I think when you're writing, you should be in writing mode, and then when you're editing, you should be in editing mode. Later on in life, I can definitely see how it can be very easy to blend those two, and especially if you got a crazy contract and you're pumping out books left and right. But for up-and-coming authors, for young authors, and people that are just trying to learn in general, I think that you definitely need to have that switch from writing to editing, simply because you can almost get in your head about it. If you're trying to be creative and you're trying to get the details out and on the page, if you still have that editing mode switched on, you might start taking away stuff that might actually be very beneficial for the story. So it's always important to keep those things in mind.